What's up, everyone? Thralls Metal here once again. I'm Necrotic.
I'm Jammin John.
And we have an album review for you. And this one, I guess kind of came as a surprise, but we had to go over it once we heard a couple of tracks. And, well, we love Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl is fucking awesome, and we wanted to go over his fictional band, I guess we could call it, Dream Widow, with their self-titled, or his self-titled release. I don't know. It's pretty much put together to accompany the movie Studio 666, which I definitely still want to see. And it kind of fits in with the whole theme of it. Like, this is found in the basement. This is some ancient satanic band from the 80s. So not that ancient. But, you know, it conjures Satan and demons and shit. And
we here at Thralls of Metal do that.
Yeah, and I grew up on movies like that. So, yeah. And it is pretty much approached with that same amount of campy over-the-topness. Now, for those of you that don't know, Dave Grohl is no stranger to metal. He's actually a pretty big metalhead. He loves a lot of classic stuff. He did an album way back in 2004 called Probot,
yes,
where he had a ton of different singers come on. Snake from Voivod, Max Cavalera, shit. I mean, literally everyone was on there. And hasn't really done a metal-themed project since, so a lot of us have been waiting for something again, because Probot was really fucking good. And if you don't believe us, check out a retro review of that. So here we go with Dream Widow, and no pretense, no bullshit opener. Encino flat out rips your fucking face off.
It's Napalm Death, but it's Napalm Dave.
Yeah. It's fast. It is just hyper aggressive. It's the heaviest thing I think I've ever heard Dave do.
Yeah, it's not what I was expecting at all.
No.
I mean, I've heard Probot, I've heard Foo Fighters, everybody's heard Nirvana. That's, you know, I was expecting something maybe a little bit heavier than that. But this is like flat out, like, rip your face off, old school VOD groove, old school Sepultura groove.
Dude,
weird.
Slayer meets Repulsion. It's a minute 38 of just flesh-ripping, just bestial thrash, kind of grindcore. I mean, it's just a monster of a fucking song. And thrash is definitely another section of this. This is kind of an interesting album in the way it runs, because since it's not necessarily like an actual band where it has an actual like style or theme. Like,
right.
You know, Cannibal Corpse will sound like Cannibal Corpse from track to track to track, say like Slayer, etc. This is Dave pretty much pouring out his love for a lot of different styles. And the thrash continues to pummel you on tracks like March of the Insane, which is a fucking D-beat ripper of a song.
Reminds me a lot of that Red Fang video where they all get in the grocery getter and they drive around and do insane things. This is like a drink some whiskey and fight your old friends.
Yep. It's like, listen, why are you looking at me like that? We gotta fight. We have to. Why? Reasons. But March of the Insane was, I believe, the first single they leaked, and we actually jammed it, and we were like, wow, Dave.
Yeah, right.
Holy shit, Dave.
What you doing, bud?
Like, this sounds like the demonic Dave you see in the trailers for Studio 666.
Have to go see that.
Just a monstrous fucking ripper of a song. There's not many parts to it. It's very cut and dry, but the important part is your adrenaline stays up here throughout the entire song, all like 3.5 minutes of it. And I flat out fucking love this track. This track is going to get played a lot in my fucking car, and I might get a speeding ticket or two. I don't know.
It's happened.
It's happened. It's happened.
We both have lead feet, so, you know. And then it gets a little doomy in songs like Cold and Becoming. First of all, Cold reminds me instantly of, like, old COC, early Down, but the hook riff in Cold has got to be one of the catchiest hook riffs, I think, ever.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's got like a bluesy tag on the end of it. And then the song Becoming kind of has the same vibe, but differently. First of all, it's not Pantera.
Nope.
Although it does have the Floods guitar tone, I think.
The clean intro is a really good setup, but man, what it sets it up for.
Yep. The intro on it goes on for a good like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but boy, oh boy, when you hit that 2:30-minute mark there, holy God, that is the biggest, nastiest, doomiest, stank-faced, sour lemon riff just bleh.
Bended to death. It actually sounds like it's beckoning you to like kill somebody. It's just brr, brr, like kill your friend, murder him.
Murder your best friend.
The entire time I was listening to that, I was like, man, this is like literally the whole subliminal messages in music your parents warned you about, back in the 80s when you still didn't listen to them. I was like, fuck you, I'm gonna listen to this anyway.
Play the record backwards and Satan's balls.
Chicago kicks ass. When it came down to like the Doomy stuff, you can definitely tell Doom is one of the main things on here. Lots of stuff that echoes back to like classic Trouble, St. Vitus.
Yep.
And I like how it's employed differently. Like Cold could not be any more different than Becoming. Becoming sounds like the most sinister, evil fucking thing that I think Dave Grohl has ever written.
It's fair.
But Cold feels like very somber and actually, again, has this big hooky chorus. And hooky choruses, I mean, that's kind of a Foo Fighters thing. Like, Dave knows how to write a fucking hook. He has written a ton of infectious fucking songs that are all over the radio. And some of that has kind of like snuck its way on here, but it's still evil, especially when you listen to like the lyrics too. I mean, there's definitely like a playfulness to it, but it sounds evil. It sounds like the band that would conjure Satan in the basement they found. The whole plot of the fucking movie. The Sweet Abyss and Angel with Severed Wings, both heavy songs. Both like generally the verse riffs are very heavy. There's like growled vocals. There's doomy, drony vocals. There's quite a bit of reverb on them too, because fuck it, why not? Let's make it sound like two different demons talking to you and telling you to murder your parents. But when you get down to the chorus, especially on The Sweet Abyss, it's very pleasant. It's very hooky. And that kind of creates an interesting contrast between that and the rest of the song. Like, the riffs are still dark and sinister, but you have this very pleasant chorus. And then Angel with Severed Wings, that's a Foo Fighters chorus.
I was going to say, that's probably as close to the Foo Fighters as you're going to get. Although it did remind me a little bit of The Sword.
Yeah. I mean, it has some classic heavy metal gallops to it.
Yep.
Great harmonies. The songs are very well written, and you can tell that I think more time was spent on this in terms of the songwriting than, say, with Probot. Probot, they kind of felt like they were a little thrown together, but they're kind of thrown together in a fun way. This is still fun. It's just way more meticulous when it comes down to songwriting. And another thing about this is there's a lot of lead work on here. And on Probot, that was kind of a sparing thing. Like, I think occasionally they were like guest leads. I believe this is all Dave. And again, much like this album, going after a multitude of different styles, he's doing a lot of different lead techniques. Like he has the big flashy ones, kind of Dimebag-ish. Then he also has like the more squealy, just gnarly Slayer leads.
Yep.
A lot of attention to detail on this album, and it makes it just even more fun to listen to. Like, this sounds like it was as much fun to write as it is to listen to. And that carries pretty much throughout the entire album. But holy shit, the closer. Oh my fucking God. It's a 10-minute riff fest.
Yep, and it covers many, many spectrums of metal.
And spectrums that weren't covered earlier on in the album, too. The song is called Lacrimus de Ebrius, I think. But, opening, fucking the dirtiest Sabbath riff that Sabbath didn't write.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Might be the best riff Dave has ever played.
Oh, that bluesy tag at the end.
Yeah.
Oh. But that big droning tone, which the production here is flat out fucking amazing. Like, organic as hell.
Well, it's all analog.
Yeah.
There's nothing digital going on here. That's
Dave.
From the depths of the fucking abyss.
It was recorded in that same basement that they found the thing with the Satan in the movie. Yes. But it doesn't just doom. Like, it actually kind of picks up the pace. A lot of the chunkier parts when it gets to mid-tempo kind of reminds me a lot of, like, Cathedral, minus Lee Dorian's goofy vocals.
That's fair.
But circles back to that big doom riff. And I could circle back to that all day long. Mm-hmm. But kind of out of nowhere, and this caught me off guard, and this caught him off guard, we go straight into blast beats and evil, dissonant tremolo riffs. I don't think I've ever heard Dave do either of those.
Yeah. It was really weird to find blast beats. And that tremolo behind that nasty doomy riff doesn't make any sense, but it's really fucking cool.
It sounds sinister and evil as hell. It takes a fun little walk on this like D beats and then these cool like kind of tribal drum patterns and shit. It just turns into Riff-em-again, but pulling from like every camp of metal that he possibly could.
And then it drops out and you get this cool like Spanish acoustic ambient guitar.
Very pretty.
Yeah, very, very pretty. Before going back to Doom.
Oh my god.
And hard Doom. In fact, the last 30 seconds of this song are fucking gold.
And it bookends that opening riff.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely fucking love that. This last song, pretty much it caps off the album perfectly. And it's almost encapsulates what the whole album is about. Let's just go through Dave's record collection of all his metal shit that he grew up with and absolutely still loves, apparently, because I don't think he'd play it that well if he didn't love it.
Mm-mm.
And let's just jam out. Like, it's an instrumental track, too. Like, there's no lyrics. I don't know if he could talk enough about Satan through that whole 10 minutes. But, Jesus Christ, talk about letting the music do all the talking.
Yes.
That is one of my favorite 10 minutes of music this year, for damn sure. And overall, this album fucking whoops ass. This is pretty much the perfect accompaniment to a gory slasher movie that is also very tongue-in-cheek. You know, that stars the Foo Fighters. I really dug this. And I mean, honestly, like my expectations, you know, I have Probot. I've been jamming Probot for years. But I wasn't sure, like, you know, if he'd come back like full swing to like just doing a flat out metal album like this. Like, you know, I was hesitant, but holy shit, this is incredible. And I'm going to give it 4 stars. This was pure fucking fun to listen to. Evil Dave. Come back every once in a while. Like, don't make it like a 20-year gap or almost 20-year gap. Come back like every 10 years. It's fine.
Or every 5.
Yeah,
hell,
5.
Just every now and again. Just do this.
If you have all these like extra metal riffs in your vault of riffs, let them out. Let them breathe a little bit more, because I want this. And unfortunately, there's no physical media for this so far that I've seen. So hopefully this comes out on like CD, hopefully, for me, when the movie comes out on Blu-ray, because I'll buy both.
Right, I would hope so. I would definitely hope so.
Yeah, this is flat out incredible. If you love just thrash metal, doom metal, everything, and hell, if you even like fucking Foo Fighters style hooks, they're also here. Go get this when it's available. But for now, stream the living shit out of it. Play it fucking loud. It's awesome.
Yep. It's a 4 for me as well. Good times. It's a fun album. It's a fun jam through and through. All the songs are uniquely different, and again, heavier than I was definitely expecting. I did not expect some of those riffs to be as nasty as they were. It encapsulates, I think, just the culmination of all the things that he's been influenced by over the years. And when he got a chance to make a stupid slasher film, why not write a killer, doomy, yucky, satanic soundtrack to it? And he did just that.
All those things.
Yeah, it's just pure fun. Just if you like fun music, this is definitely it. Fun, heavy music.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Start a bonfire, hit your buddy with a chair, do a couple of keg stands.
Throw a table through a window, you know.
This is the album for that.
It's only a misdemeanor, right?
Yeah, right. Well, you know, don't be a narc. Don't call the cops.
Yeah, don't do that.
You know, just
That's
settle
stupid.
it there. Drink more beer. You'll be fine. So, unfortunately, there is one thing we do want to cover, and it came out of nowhere, too. Sadly, we lost Taylor Hawkins. He just died yesterday at the filming of this video.
Yeah.
And we're still definitely processing that. Hell of a drummer, hell of a guy.
Yep.
Like, he just seemed like such a fucking cool dude. He was always smiling, always cracking jokes. Great fucking musician overall.
Hell of a musician. What a fucking bummer. And he was only 50.
Yeah.
And that's, man.
Yeah.
It's another big loss. The music community is definitely losing some gems.
Yeah.
And Taylor was another. God, still a giant shock. I'm shocked, to be honest.
I don't
don't
still
know.
processing it.
That's a real bummer. So
we're
just sending our love out to friends and family of Taylor and whatnot.
The rest of the Foo Fighters, I can't imagine what you guys are going through as well. And I mean, to all the fans out there too, you know, this stings. It definitely stings. I was watching videos of his last performance. He came out from behind the kit and sang a Queen song with Dave doing drums, and it was fucking amazing. I forgot that fucking Taylor could sing, and he could sing really fucking well.
Yeah.
The dude was just, you know, yeah, hell of a guy, hell of a musician, you know, sucks. So rest in peace, Taylor. You know, you are sorely missed here.
Thank you for all that you've done. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe because we do stuff like this all the time. We are also on Patreon. If you'd like to help us out there, there'll be a link down below. There will also be a link to thrallsmetal.com. So if you would like to get one of our really cool fucking shirts, you can order it right there. Also, again, we've been kind of waiting for Larry. Has not got a hold of us. So,
Larry.
Pretty much, you're on notice, Larry. We're going to do another giveaway here soon. We'll give you probably...
I'm going to give you another week.
Another week. Yeah.
Today is March 26th, 2022. You have until, I don't know, April 2nd or some crap. Whatever 7 days from now is, the 3rd. I don't know. But you have another week, and if you don't, I'm sorry.
We'll do another
drawing. To pick another Thraller, whom I'm sure will be excited to get this stuff.
We'll probably get back
Larry,
to us.
I believe that you're still excited to get it. You just have no idea that or maybe you don't want it. I don't know.
Larry, I don't know you, Larry.
Do you see what happens? Do you see what happens, Larry?
This makes me want to fucking take a baseball bat to a Corvette. I tell you what.
It sure does.
So with that, once again, thank you all very much for watching, and we will catch you later.